It's great to hear that Toronto Subway will be getting coverage. I would just point out that in rural Perth, Wellington, our first responders sometimes don't have cell coverage, which is a real dangerous issue. And I know we're not talking about cell coverage, but I would just point out I've been waiting for months for a meeting with Bell Canada to meet with stakeholders and municipal officials in my riding. And if anyone from Ma Bell is listening, we're still waiting for that meeting. So we're in the phone book. Give us a call. Mr. Kennedy, I want to follow up with you on questions earlier about Telesat. In an October 12th, 2021 press release from Industry Canada, it stated that Telesat Lightspeed will enable broadband internet and LTE and 5G connectivity in Canada starting in 2024, ultimately connecting approximately 40,000 households. Could you let me know how many of those households will be connected in the year 2024?
Mr. Chair, I'd have to go back and get the latest kind of plans from Telesat, but the project has been delayed for a number of reasons. It's, the company has been advancing the project, but it is not scheduled to be in service by 2024. The date has been pushed back, and so we would not anticipate having any households connected by the Telesat constellation at that date.
So to that end, will you still be contributing $1.44 billion whenever that does come into existence?
I think the government, Mr. Chair, has been clear that it has been prepared to make an investment in the Telesat constellation if and when that project proceeds. There have been changes over the last couple of years. The committee may wish to talk to Telesat to kind of get the latest details, but we're very hopeful that Telesat, a kind of proud Canadian company that's been a leader in the telecommunications satellite business, that they will be successful with their LEO project, and we would be hopeful to be buying capacity and participating in that project if and when it launches. And it would bring. So I apologize. Go ahead. Sorry.
So with the greatest respect, according to a August of this year press release, they're looking at potential launches in mid-2026. Is that just not too late? Or have we not missed the boat with Telesat when you have Project Kuiper through Amazon, through Starlink? Has Telesat missed their window of opportunity here?
Mr. Chair, I think that may be a question best directed to Telesat. What I would say is that there are a number of these LEO constellations that are being planned or have already been launched, and it's a business decision from Telesat, but certainly in our discussions with them, they believe that there are market segments.
I just want to interrupt. I just want to interrupt because I have a small amount of time. It is a business decision, but it is also a business decision for the government of Canada, which is purchasing a $650 million equity stake with that investment. So it is a business decision, but I'll leave that there because I'm running out of time. I just want to ask Mr. Kennedy, if you come back with us with some numbers. You mentioned 71% of rural and remote Canada will be connected to high-speed internet by the end of this calendar year. Could you break that down for us by province and within Ontario by county?
And just, I know, Mr. Nader, you have another tour, and we're at the time, and you ran over your question a little bit, so I'm going to come back to you for an answer on that, Mr. Kennedy.
So back to Mr. Kennedy, my question from earlier about providing more granularity, more specificity for connections by the end of this year. Can you provide that by province and within Ontario by county?
Mr. Chair, I think we're happy to come back. I think we can provide it by province. I'll have to look at county, but we definitely have statistics, like more granular statistics. We'd be very happy to come back and try to provide as much as we can.
Well, I would request by county, sir, because rural Perth County is much different than other regions of this province. So I think it's incumbent on you to provide that breakdown so we can see a picture within our province and, frankly, within all province. Mr. Kennedy, the Connect to Innovate program, it provided zero project funding for Southwestern Ontario, despite Southwestern Ontario having about 10% of the underserved internet population in the country. Why did Connect to Innovate provide $0 in funding to Southwestern Ontario?
Mr. Chair, I'll have to come back. I apologize. I'm a little less familiar with the intricacies of that program, but I'm happy to come back and provide an answer. It was a different sort of program, Mr. Chair. I would just say for the honourable member's question, it was providing funding for backbone internet, like the kind of the large pipes. It wasn't actually connecting, individual households. That may account for the way the money was spent, but we'd be very happy to provide a more comprehensive answer.
You have 40 seconds, Mr. Nader.
Well, to that end, I would say you can't really connect individual households if you don't have that backbone. And frankly, in 2023, the fact that rural Ontario, rural Canada is still lacking, and the fact that you're and you admitted, I accept that 71% isn't good enough, and it's frankly not good enough. But the fact that by the end of 2023 we'll still only be at 71% of rural Canada, and as Mr. Desjardins mentioned, even lower for Indigenous communities is completely unacceptable. Despite the billions being sent, we can highlight the billions upon billions they're spent, but if we don't have actual results, then I think it's highly unfortunate. So I'll leave it there, and thank you, Chair.